So today for our J Talk topic, we're talking about self-esteem. My self-esteem has gotten better over the years. I think like when I started wearing glasses was when I started to feel like really insecure about myself. It didn't really bother me until like preteen. So like when I was 12, I started feeling more like conscious about like my looks, and I started noticing like on TV that like all the nerds wore glasses and they weren't the cool ones, and I was always viewed as like someone that wasn't pretty to my friends, but I was the nice one, so like all the cool people were nice to me. So like I guess I felt like I was like the ugly duckling back then, up until I think like the 7th or 8th grade, when I convinced my dad to let me get contacts, and like the second I got contacts, my confidence like boosted up, and then I like viewed myself as someone pretty again. And then in high school, I guess I was pretty self-conscious too, but I became more self-conscious after me and my ex broke up. Because then I thought that, oh, well, since he broke up with me, then maybe all the other guys won't be attracted to me, and maybe he was the only one that was attracted to me. And then later, after like a year or two after that, I joined cheer, and I met like the right people. So like Nikki, if you're watching, I know you're probably watching. She like helped me boost up my confidence a lot and my self-esteem. And Trey, and like they were just like telling us like to always be fierce and just be confident with yourself, and it kind of just rubbed off on me. And so as like we were like working out more and we were just like bonding, and like I saw how they were and how like the upperclassmen were, I just wanted to be like them, and so it kind of just rubbed off on me, and I just became more confident about myself. And then my senior year of high school, I got diagnosed with clinical depression, and that's when my self-esteem started going down again. And then graduated high school, and then freshman 15 in college. So freshman 15, if you don't know, is when you're in college and basically like you are in charge of your own diet, and a lot of college students, they don't have time to eat healthy, so you just eat whatever is quick and easy, and you just gain 15 pounds, which is like freshman 15. And that's what happened to me. I gained 15 pounds my freshman year of college, and I started to become more self-conscious because I was known in high school for being really skinny and having like a nice body, and I had like long pretty hair and all that stuff. So that it just changed, and I became lazy to dress up. I didn't have motivation to dress up, and I started noticing that I've been gaining weight, so then I let that affect me even more. And so I just the fact that I was changing like into like the opposite of what I was in high school, I let that affect me, and I let it take over me and take over how I view myself. So now, today, I've been working on my self-esteem and just trying to like teach myself how to view myself as a beautiful person. And since like I preach about like loving yourself so much, especially to these two, I felt like I should be a strong example, and I should practice it myself too. So that's where it helps with me. And like, yeah,
I guess in high school I never had like a self-esteem problem because I felt like I was always really skinny. I felt pretty. I felt like I had friends that liked me. But it came from a far place before that, because through elementary, since I was born here, my whole family's in Cuba, I didn't have friends, and I was learning 2 languages, so my English wasn't that great always, even though I learned it first because I was still at home trying to learn Spanish and whatnot. But it was one of those things where I never felt like I had friends, and my mom would always put me in like these silly like pigtails and wear these like overalls and like or sweatpants. And what's it called? So yeah, I felt like I was always made fun of, and like I was known as the pigtail girl, and no one really liked me, and like I was like just kind of an easy target. And you know how kids are in elementary. And in middle school, 6th grade, I kind of felt like that, but then I was like starting to get a feel of like the popular crowd, and I became one of those people that were the bully, and I bullied people. And that stopped around 8th grade year when I was like in this like crowd, and like in crowd, and they were picking on one of my friends who weren't in the in crowd, and I stood up for her, and they were basically like, well, we don't really need you anymore and whatnot. And I was just like, okay, well, and that's when I finally realized, well, if you don't want me, like, because I'm sucking up for my friend and you're being really rude, then I'm not gonna be friends with you. So I left them, and then I went to my freshman year. I went to a different school than from where I graduated, but that shut down. But I think that's where it all really started, is when I like and then high school was where it changed everything, because people really liked me, it seemed like, and I always got compliments, and I was just like, wow, maybe like people were just rude, or like, you know, just didn't see that side of me. And I started wearing makeup more and dressing up more, and I could tell what people liked and didn't like. And yeah, and then I went to another school for the rest of the 3 years, and it was hard at first because the school we went to, they had like their main cliques and groups, so that was really hard to open because they had been there since elementary, and I didn't grow up with these people, so it was hard to like understand like where they were coming from, how they were, because it was different. It wasn't from like what I was just used to just going from group to group, which I still did throughout high school, but it was hard because you could tell that when you would go from one group to another, they would talk about you, and you had to be strong through that. So I joined many things like leadership, cheerleading. I just did a lot of things that like boosted my self-esteem, and then I went out with a football player, because, you know, that whole cliche thing, whatever. And it went really well until like we broke up, and then my self-esteem went back down again a little bit because I don't really know. Have you heard of that thing, like, you know, like when you're in a relationship, everybody wants you, but then when you're out of a relationship, nobody wants you. You know,
like that all the time.
Like, to get away, I had to like, I didn't express how I felt more to myself and like to them, obviously, because I was crying and whatnot half the time. I didn't want to leave my house, but like I try to escape it by going to other people and trying to find that back to me. And she made me realize that I had lost myself. Like I loved this guy more than anything. So I literally put him in front of me all the time. So I lost who I was, and it really hurt me because they knew it when I was going out that I didn't care. And I always, like, there'd be times where, like, we would have, like, a whole week planned out that we were going to hang out, and then last minute I'm just like, no, I can't, because I'd hang out with him instead.
Mm-hmm. All the time.
Loved him too much, more than I probably should have loved him. Well, obviously, because I didn't love myself anymore. Yeah. So, for a good half of the year, she kept telling me, like, you need to love yourself again, and you need to be happy, because I was, like, when we broke up, I weighed 118. In like 6 days, I went down to 103. Like, it was bad, and like I didn't even care. And people were like, "You look anorexic," you know, like you need to like things. And then I even felt more bad because I just thought like, I want to be skinny. Like, don't you want me to be skinny? You know. And there's just a lot of things that until like after 6 months of just being like grieving about it and getting over it, finally I realized like how much like loving yourself can do to you. And like people say all the time, like it's so easy to say just love yourself, but you really have to feel it deep in your heart that you know that you can walk by somebody who's like hurt you or like that might judge you or anything like that, and you can just walk by and be like instead of having to get defenseless, because most of the time if you get defensive, to me it feels like two things: that you actually are defending yourself, which most like 80% of the people don't do, or you're doing it because you know it's true but you don't want to face it. And like I'll be honest with you guys, one of the reasons why I wear makeup is because since I get really stressed out, I get acne every once in a while, and I'm still in that like hormonal stage where it's like it acts up really well. But like I don't just wear it because of that. I also wear it because I like to, and it expresses me, and I feel like it's an art form, but I don't wear too much of it where it's like, whew, you know? And I don't have a problem with anybody that does. But like that's something that I've been trying to work on, is wear less makeup, because I want to have that clear face where it looks, you know, like where I can wake up and I don't have to feel like I have to put makeup on. But so those are one of like mine that I'm still working on to this day, but I have learned how to love myself and know that I'm going to be okay even when it's tough, or if something happens, I can learn to pick myself back up instead of having to always look for somebody, because that was what I found in that relationship is when something was wrong with me, I could always turn to him and he would fix that for me. And you should always want to be able to turn to yourself and look in the mirror and be like, even if you're crying and like hurt and whatever, and just be like, I love you and I can get through it, and me in the mirror, which is myself, are gonna get through it. So, and I wouldn't have been able to do that if it wasn't for Juli.
When I was younger, I was one of those, I guess you can say I was the bully, but I wasn't the main bully. I was like the bystander bully. You know, when you think of groups of people, and there's like one main people and then in the back. Like Mean Girls, Gretchen, and then like the other two, I was probably the blonde one.
JANIE, Gretchen is the...
Oh, I was Gretchen.
You mean,
Regina Georgia.
Yeah.
You know, there's
Regina George.
Regina George, and then this Gretchen, and then the blonde girl. Yeah.
I've never seen...
You never seen Mean Girls?
She's like never been out of her damn house.
I've never had like Twinkies either.
I was Gretchen or the blonde girl. I was always in a group of like known people, or you can say popular kids, but I don't think I was. But I think I started not to love myself, or not to realize that I wasn't fully where I am now, was when I was in 6th grade. Girl.
Oh.
6th grade. Oh my god, when they say middle school is like real, middle school is real. Like, let me just tell you, like middle school, that was when I started feeling depressed. I wasn't like clinically like depressed like she was.
You weren't diagnosed.
I wasn't, there you go. I wasn't diagnosed with like depression, but I was pretty depressed. Like, a lot of it had to do with guys and wanting to feel the love that they give me.
You want to feel accepted.
I want to feel accepted and loved by a man. I think it was mainly because like when I was like growing up, my dad, you a great dad, but sometimes you don't know how to be a dad, and you don't talk to us very often. And I think that's why, like, I see like all my friends, they were like, oh yeah, my dad this, and I have fun time with my dad and all this stuff, and I wanted that, and I try to get that from a guy. That don't work. And so, like, 6th grade, first guy I ever dated, I guess. And he, like, told me, let me just tell you, December 17th, at 1:51 a.m., he texted me, and he was like, I don't think that I don't think that we should talk anymore. I think we should go our separate ways. Girl, I bawled. I was crying. I went to the bathroom, started bawling. Juli, she kind of handled it, but
yep.
I think that's
my own story.
That was when I think that's when I was really sad and depressed, and that's when I started cutting myself. And after that, like, I had more people in my life, and they're like, don't cut yourself and this and that, stuff like that. Like, I understand why people, like, for my own reason why I cut myself was because I guess at that moment it felt better than the pain that I was feeling. Like, internally, it felt better than the pain that I was feeling inside, which I don't recommend you have to do it, because it really doesn't help much at all. Like, it's basically like weed. You smoke and then it gets over, and then you feel worse, you know? So I really don't recommend doing that. So then, going on to like freshman year, I think that was when like the peak, the very, very peak of like my self-esteem. Like, I was so motivated. I loved myself. Like, I did so many things to distract myself from, and I basically like learned who I was and learned how to love myself. Like, I was in leadership, or no, I wasn't. I was in yearbook. I was in cheerleading. A lot of people knew me. Step Up and all this stuff. Like, people knew me as like a well-rounded person, and a person who doesn't really take shit from anyone. And like, I think that's when hi. I know who you I think you know who you
You are?
You are. But I basically not dated, but we had this thing, but I had a thing with this guy, and I guess he chased me, and I made him ask me out 5 times, and all stuff. And I think the only reason why I asked him to ask me out 5 times, or he kept trying, because I knew that I deserved a lot better. And at that point of his time, of his life, he wasn't the best. He wasn't at his best, and I wanted the best for myself. And so, like, learning from like 6th grade and stuff, I knew that I had to do a lot better than I did before. Like I didn't like how I felt. I didn't like the feeling. I didn't like crying every day. Like I just didn't like feeling sad. So then I think he knew, like, okay, if I really want this person, I really had to go up and beyond for it. So then, long story short, we dated, and it's almost a year. Probably when you watch this, it's been a year, but we broke up. It's been a year now, and honestly, during the couple, I want to say 3 months of the last 3 months of our relationship when we were together, I want to say that I really didn't love myself at all. Like I really feel like Jessica, she lost herself. I really felt like I lost myself. He wanted to go to the military or whatever he wanted to go, and I was so down for it. Like I was ready for it and everything. But I think I was more scared of the fact that him leaving me completely in my life. Like, we're not dating all completely in my life. Not the fact that he was in the military or anything. Like, I was so up for it. I was ready for it. I was down for it. And I think the fact that, because we broke up 2 times, this was our second time breaking up. I think the first time it really scared me, our first breakup really scared me, because I guess I really loved this guy. He's my first love, and literally like my first everything. And like the fact that I lost him once, I didn't want to lose him again because it was my fault the first time. And so I really let that get to me, and let that get to our relationship, and it really affected me because I loved him so much. I literally gave him everything. Like the shirt on my back, I really would have gave it up to him and stuff. And I think he knew that I didn't love myself anymore, and so then he ended it. I think he still wants me to be happy on my own. And I honestly, if you're watching this, let me just tell you, thank you, because honestly, if it wasn't for you, and I told him too, I told him, if it wasn't for you and it wasn't for this hurt or anything, I wouldn't be where I am right now. Like, not all pain is bad. Sometimes pain has to push you and motivate you to grow as a person and find who you are. Like, this pain that he gave me, literally, I am so much stronger. I love myself so much more. I am more successful and happy and motivated for myself. Like, I feel like in the relationship, I wanted him to fulfill the love that I wanted when he couldn't, because I had to fulfill it myself, if that makes sense. Like, I just lost myself as a person, but now I'm good. I'm Gucci.
You should do things that you love. You shouldn't let someone be like, oh, like if you love and you want to go out and treat yourself to like clothing therapy, like, you go do that. Don't let someone be like, you have a lot of clothes, or like, are you rich? Like, can you buy it? No, you need to say, you'd be like, I love myself and I'm treating myself today. Don't let, I've heard that sometimes in my life, and I always think, like, why is it that someone gets to tell me, judge me on what I love and what I like to do? Like, yeah, we don't agree on it, but it doesn't mean I'm going to agree with what you say. So do things that you love. Don't go through life and not be happy with, like, we don't get to choose a lot of things in life. And if you are settling for someone that you possibly don't love and you want to be with for the rest of your life, things that you can't do in life that you absolutely love, then you're going to live a life when you get close to that deathbed, or like if it just gets taken away from you, and you're going to realize that you didn't live a happy life because of what other people think or whatever the reason might be. Do what makes you happy, because only you get one chance. And people say a lot about different things about where you go after you're dead and if you get someone else, but you don't remember any of that. So just remember to love yourself. And it's hard to just say that, but try to do it, and try to do things that will make you want to do that more.
The thing is just like, you shouldn't have to care so much about what people think about you either. Like there are so many people, like, in high school, like, with me, I cared so much about having friends and being friends with everyone, and I cared about what they thought, and I cared about being cool. And now it's just like, I don't care. Like, if you don't like me for how I am, then you can go and take a hike. Like, I really don't care. And it's just like,
Take a hike.
like, if you're like smaller in the waist, and people are telling you, like, you're too skinny, but you love how you look and you feel healthy and you're happy, then just do you. But if you're bigger in the waist, like, you're a little bigger, then and you feel happy about it, then do you. Like, you shouldn't care what people think. You shouldn't care what people say about you. Like, if someone tells you that you're fat, but you don't feel like you're ugly or anything, then that's fine. It's all what you think about yourself, and it's all about how you view yourself, because you are your harshest critic.
Yeah. Let me just tell you. Hi. Don't put that part in.
You've always been here.
I know, you know how many times you said hi?
Maybe I want to say hi. Can I not say hi?
I'm gonna put down, it's gonna count how many times you said hi.
Okay. Hi. Hello. Anyway.
Can you say it in every language next?
Hola. Xin Ni hao. Don't be afraid of yourself. Don't be afraid of people judging you. Just love yourself. And when you love yourself, you can trust other people, or you can trust yourself to trust other people. I think that's why a lot of people have a lot of trust issues, because the person didn't wrong. But do you trust yourself enough that you can let that person in your life?
And live the life you want to live. I know people get so consumed in media and like other people and friendships and relationships that they
and parents controlling them or telling them what to do, or people that want to live up to their parents' expectations.
Hello, Asian parents.
You, Hispanic too, you lose yourself in that, and people will constantly say, no, this is me, it's not you, because if we take all that away, what do you got left?
I read this quote on Pinterest. They said you have 3 personalities: how you act in public, and how you act when you're with your friends, and how you act when you're alone.
That's true.
And you know who you really are when you're by yourself.
Yeah.
And no one's around. You know who you really are.
Mm-hmm.
So if you compare yourself to how you really are by yourself to how you are around your parents or your best friends or whatever, and it's 2 completely different people, then you probably have to like reevaluate your life and learn how to be comfortable with being fully you around the people that you say that you love.
You need to surround yourself with the right people. If you surround yourself with negative people, you're going to be negative and you're not going to love yourself.
And but
if you surround yourself with positive people and positive people who love themselves, then that helps you to love yourself. Right. Check. Long story short, this video is about loving yourself. Do whatever you do. Do whatever that makes you happy. Whether it's wearing your hair curly or natural. This is my natural hair. I'm rocking it. It's basically rocking your own self. Basically rocking whatever you feel like you want to rock. If you're a bigger person, love themselves. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Destiny. Hey Destiny, I know you watch it, but I think she really helped me, because she always said that she was a bigger side person. She always called herself fat, but she always said that she loves who she is. She loves her size, her curves, whatever. She just loves how she is. She loves the way she looks too, and she always owned it. She never put herself down. She loved the way she looked, and she really just brought out the confidence, and that's what makes you look really good. And confidence is a big thing when you're loving yourself. If you don't have confidence, you don't really love yourself. But you have self-confidence. You say, you know what? I'm going to rock these ugly socks because I can, and I love myself, and I'm going to rock my natural hair because that's who I am. You know? Yep. Just love yourself and own who you are. And that's how you're going to be yourself. That's how you're going to make yourself happy. Don't make other people happy. Their happiness has nothing to do or reach as much as your happiness. You got to be happy.
Your happiness is in your own hands.
Yeah.
Just like it is for everyone else. And Blake Lively, like one of the sexiest celebrities that I know of, even said the sexiest thing that you can wear is confidence. And I completely agree with that. I agree with it so much. And a few things that I want to point out is that as long as if you love yourself for how you are, and if it's safe for you, if it's healthy for you, then go for it. As long as you're safe and you're healthy, go for it. That's what I say. Because sometimes, like, even though like you see like a Victoria's Secret model, they don't starve themselves to look the way they look. They work out a lot and they eat a lot of healthy food. Like, if you like go on YouTube and you search up Victoria's Secret models, like how their day is when they prepare for the Victoria's Secret fashion shows, like they have like a strict diet and they have strict workouts to look how they look. So they're still healthy for being how they look. But if you're gonna starve yourself to death until you get sick and you get diagnosed with some type of sickness, then that's you're never gonna be happy. You like working out will boost up your confidence a lot and it'll make you a lot happier. Like Khloe Kardashian, she came out with a new book.
Strong looks better naked.
Yeah. So, but like, I feel like if you're gonna try to boost up your self-esteem, do it in a really healthy way. Because if you do it in a healthy way, then like you'll end up being happier, and like you'll be happy, healthy, confident, like all the good stuff.
And I always tell her this, but you shouldn't depend on a scale on how beautiful you are. Numbers does not define how beautiful you are. Numbers
are numbers.
Numbers are numbers. When I work out and stuff, I don't look at numbers. I look at myself. And if I don't like something, I change it. A lot of people, they always say, oh, I don't like how I look. Well, do something about it. If you just keep talking about it, where is it gonna go? You need to have a plan and a goal and then do it. You gotta strive for what you want to do and how you want to look. And you can be a big person, you can be a medium person, thin person. It all really depends on you. If you don't like something about you, change it. Yeah. Like my hair, you know how many times I dyed my hair because I didn't like it? You know, a dead hair, but I like it and I own it and I do whatever I want to do with it.
It makes you comfortable. If you feel comfortable for how you are, then stick to it. And if there's something that you don't like about yourself and you want to change it, and if it has to do with like getting breast implants or like Botox or whatever, do it as long as it's for you and it's really what you want, not because you want to impress someone.
And don't ever let a guy tell you it's not.
Yeah. Right.
Don't.
If you want it for yourself and you're doing it for you and it really makes you happy at the end of the day, then do it. But don't do it just to impress someone, because that someone could leave anytime.
And guys, to leave it at this, don't give up on yourselves, because I know a lot of people will try these things and will go to people and be like, what can I do? What can I do? And you just need to remember that even if, like, you say, I tried what they said and I did what this doctor told me to do and I did this and that and it didn't work out at the end of the day, that's fine. It's okay. But just make sure to get up again in the morning and smile and try again.
Life is a working process.
And try until it finally works out for you. And it might take more than a year, or like how many years, or like a day. Everyone's different. But don't give up on yourself, because you only got yourself at the end of the day. All these materialistics and all these other people are not you, and don't walk in your body every single day. They're not in your shoes. Yep. And until they can be in your shoes, which they never will be, you need to put yourself first, and that's just how it is. And unless you're religious, God first.
Except Jesus. God.
But other than that, that's where we're cutting it.
We're not saying that we know we're
like professionals.
We're professionals, and we know who we are already. Because let's be real. We're like under 22. She's 21. We're under 22. We still grow. We still learning and everything. But we're saying that we know ourselves pretty well to give you guys advice. And you don't always have to take our advice, but we recommend it.
Hey, we're saying some pretty vulnerable stuff. We're saying some pretty vulnerable stuff that we don't tell people. And that was our talk about self-esteem. So if you like it, give it a thumbs up. We'll talk about other stuff. Maybe more broad topics next time, but you gotta comment below what you want to hear. And maybe we'll make her like stop saying hello. I know it's annoying.
I'm trying to say hi.
Subscribe if you guys want to get updates on new videos.
And let us know if you're going through anything and you need some help, or talk to us. We're here. Communicate. Snapchat.
Ask questions. We'll probably do like a Q&A or something.
Q&A soon. Facebook. Go follow our Facebook page. It's Jess and Juli. Yeah.
And if you want to see more of me, I have a channel, XO Triple Threat. Check it out.
All right.
Yay.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
The world is not in our relationship. The world doesn't know our relationship.